Hi again. Yet another way the enemy will work with you and use you to hurt or harm yourself is by this: you must surrender all thing. And I'm specifically thinking about these testimonies I'm hearing all over YouTube, where people are suggesting to you that surrender all, give up all, means give up your job and give up your house. In other words, that in order for you to work for him, that you mustn't have anything. And then, you want to be right and do right and appear more righteous than anybody else, particularly if you are in ministry. And so you give away your books and don't charge for them. You gave up a lucrative business or a career, and you humble, God humbled you this way. And you cut out relationships that you shouldn't have cut out, or you keep relationships that you should have cut from your life. And he loves to use those lifetime situations to cause you to be a aloof, distant, and even judgmental person of those who didn't give up their jobs and their houses and their relationships. Makes you kind of superior to everybody else. And I'm going to tell y'all right off, I was an ordained minister in a well-known denomination where salaries were paid to preachers, pastors, not preachers, pastors, received salaries. And here was the situation with that. The bishop became in control of your entire life by virtue of the fact that you had no other job but the salaried position, which they called a charge. You had a charge which included a salary, which included a parsonage, a place to live, and hardly any insurance at all. But because your livelihood was dependent upon your salary, then the bishop had charge over you and the people had charge over you. Because if the people didn't like what you was preaching, and the people wanted you to stop, then the people started cutting back or totally eliminating their tithes and offerings, just to show you who's the boss. And the same thing works with the bishop. If you want to get a better charge, if you want your salary increased, or if you don't want him to remove you at will, at his will, at any time, then you better shape up and step right. Okay? Don't even think you're going to make any kind of left turn, or you're going to question anything the denomination may be doing. You have to go along to get along. Now, I wanted more than anything else to be what I call a full-time preacher, a full-time pastor. Okay? But I had a daughter to raise and a mortgage to pay, and I could not give up my job. Okay? And God never asked me to give up my job. But I was constantly asking him, take this job from me, because I want to be full-time. See? I didn't know that he didn't want me there in the first place. I didn't know that he didn't send me there in the first place. That the 3 dreams that I had in 1979, which caused me to find that denomination, that I would find out more than 25 years later that he was not the one who gave me those dreams. Satan did. And I was also doing things on my job that I shouldn't have been doing. I was on the down low, preaching and laying hands and praying and doing things like that with the staff on my job, but also where I was sent. A part of my job was to visit prisons. So I got into prison and I went crazy with my stuff. I was there for Caesar's purpose, but I chose to say I was there for God's purpose. And God just protected my foolish person, my foolish self, and let me keep that job for 17 years. And for 17 years, I was begging him, take this job from me. I want to come into prison to preach. I don't want to come in here and be an evaluator, an assessor, swinging my badge around, headed for the warden's office. I didn't want that. But guess what? That job and all the other jobs I had before it added up to the pension I live off of today. God knew what was coming down. And he knew he didn't want any strings attached to me by the religious system. So, I needed to keep that job for 17 years and to work in the system for 25 years. I needed that pension. And I needed that Social Security that I now live off of. No, I don't live off of it. I live off of my pension. My Social Security is extra. You understand? So, where would I be if I'd have just jumped up and said, oh, God told me not to work? Even in the Bible it says, that if you don't work, you don't eat. I seen a girl out there, I've seen some who are online, and poor baby, they don't have nothing. They're online trying to make their little money off of YouTube. but they down in everybody else, okay, and the way they operate their finances for their ministry. They knocking everybody else because everybody's supposed to be them. And I seen one young lady say, I don't know when I'm going to get my next meal. And I believe she was telling the truth. But I'm telling you something about these people today. They don't want to give nothing. Especially those who poured out all of their money into these churches, mega ministries, and didn't get nothing for it, and many of them got harmed in the midst of it. Now their attitude is they don't want to give nobody nothing. You have to show and prove. Well, hey, this sister here will give you what is required for you to know me, but I'm going to charge you. Okay? I have free services, but I'm going to charge you. It's going to be reasonable. And I can charge you because I'm qualified to charge you. If the world was able to pay me $140 an hour when I was working in that world, how come you can't pay me $60? How come you can't give me $30 for half an hour? Christian. Okay? Judge me on my work. If my work is no good for you, I'll give you back your money. But no. Okay? People get your money through a donation and mess you up. Everything free ain't good. Everything free ain't God. They mess you up and then they gone. And you got no recourse. With me, I pay IRS to do what I got to do. I'm not looking for no non-profit status, because I'm not going to let Caesar rule me. All right? So my job, my working for myself, God honors it. And if I got to do something that requires a gift of the Spirit, then I wait to after the session, and then you got overtime. You get that for free. But counseling is my career. Ministry is my calling. God has put the two together, and I got more fruit coming out of my ministry now online than I did working 25 years in the pulpit. But when I worked in that pulpit, the reason why I was able to not only receive the truth but act on it was because the system had no hand on my money. So don't jump off in that, because the devil will tell you to leave your job, okay? And he will have his motives for that. I got more and more testimonies on that. But if you want more, call me. 888-818-1117. I am Pam. And I am a licensed therapist, license not renewed because I am retired and I really don't need it to do God's work. So, call me, send me an email. getreadyforthelord@gmail.com. I'm not going to say I can help everybody, but maybe I can help you.